Hello, I'm Brian Eslick from How to Automotive, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Metalcloak DB3 drop block brackets that you see right here. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of running these and also show you the installation of them. So come with me. So we'll go over some of the benefits. The first benefit is it's a bolt-on design. It's no welding. You don't have to cut the brackets off or anything like that. And what this is doing is simulating a long travel suspension, a long arm travel suspension, by dropping these brackets and getting the angles of your rear control arms, parallel and to the ground and to the chassis or the frame of the vehicle. So when you originally put a lift kit on the vehicle like this without a drop bracket, these rear control arms are at a pretty good angle. And what that does is limits the amount of your down travel. Because the rear control arms are at an angle, they're pointing down like this, when you go down travel, you only have a minimum amount of down travel. And that can mean the difference between when you're going over an obstacle, whatever, a wheel coming off the ground versus being on the ground. So with the angle corrected, with the geometry corrected with the drop brackets, now the rear suspension will droop a lot lower. That means when you're getting off those off camber angles and stuff like that, you're more likely to have a tire touching the ground, applying traction, and also that much more planted and stable. So that's the benefit of adding a drop bracket. This drop bracket is also designed to work with adjustable control arms. But the good thing is they're designed to work with any brand of adjustable control arms out there. So you don't have to have the Metalcloak if you're already running a different brand of adjustable control arms. So that's another benefit. Another benefit, if you look right here, it has the approach angle built into it right here. So if you come up on an obstacle, it's designed to hit the obstacle and slide off right into the tire, and then get the traction you need to get over the obstacle. So they designed that in there, so it's super beefy, super strong, and it's full welded construction for maximum strength. And installation was I would say a little tough, but not undoable. Anybody with some basic tools and a little bit of mechanical skills can put these on. So I'm going to show you that now. I'm going to walk you step by step through the process of installing those. So come with me. So in my case, I'm replacing the whole differential and putting a lift kit on at the same time when I'm doing these brackets, but you're not going to need to do that if you're just installing the bracket. So you're just going to need to remove the upper and lower control arms with a few jacks and jack stands, and I recommend you do one side at a time. Now with the upper and lower control arms out of the way, we can proceed to install the bracket. So the first thing we need to do is install the brackets. So there is a little bit of drilling involved. I've already done this side right here. I've already drilled this one here. And I'll show you step by step on the opposite side here. But basically, this is going to bolt up right here on the frame. You're going to drill one bolt hole here. The way this works is you just lift it up into position, put one of the stock bolts through the upper control arm here. You put that through, and then you'll put the lower one here. You'll put this through, so it goes through. Now you're going to press it all the way up here. You can start the nuts and bolts here and snug it up, and then we need to drill a hole in the frame right here because there's no hole there. So that's what I did. So basically what I did was, after I bolted it up snug, I put this here, the drill bit here, drilled it a little bit and got a good witness mark. Then I took this back off. Once it's back off, I finished drilling the hole through the arm here. So we're drilling this out to a 9/16. Well, I only had a 1/2 inch drill bit here at the house. So I went down to the auto parts store and picked up a step bit, and we're gonna just step up the hole until a 9/16 here. So we're just going to enlarge this hole just big enough. Basically, it's big enough so the you're enlarging the hole big enough so the bolt will fit through. So this is a 9/16 hole here. So you're just enlarging this hole until this size here. So now I'm just going to step this bit up a little bit. Oops, tighten her up a little bit. Okay, that should be it. And it's nice and smooth. Yeah. So that's perfect. Now, if you want to, you can file off any burrs or anything like that. And what I recommend is give this a good cleaning, and then use a little bit of spray paint and spray that, and then that way you don't introduce any rust or corrosion in this area. So I'm using a Rust-Oleum product here. It's a primer and a paint at the same time, and I'm just going to fog this in. You want to keep it moving and light coat. I'm going to spray a little bit of the stuff that might have rubbed off from the factory stuff here. Just spray this bracket. I'll let that dry for a couple minutes, and then we'll put the bracket on. Now, I want to show you these spacers here. These spacers right here are going to go in between as the bolts go in here, so when you bolt it up, it doesn't pinch or smash all this. So this is going to keep everything nice and taut, you know. So from here and here, we're going to use the factory hardware that we took off. So you're going to slide it through the frame here, line it up here, and then we'll put our bracket on. And then we'll reach over the top and we'll put the spacer through, and we'll start the bolt. There's going to be a second bag of hardware in the kit, and this is going to go through the control arms. So I slid the lower bolt through without the spacer or anything. So now I'm going to slide. This is going to be quite challenging. So you got to put this up here. You got to kind of use your fingers in weird angles, and there's nothing to reach around the back from, so it's not going to be easy. All right, to make it easy to bolt everything up, I went ahead and just slid the bolts through. Now there's a bolt, a little short bolt like this, that goes in between the bracket right here and goes down, and where it comes out is right here. So I got the bolt started through here, see if you can see it in there, with a washer, and then I ran it through the small bolt like this with a nylon locking nut. So that's going to run through here. So this is going to hold everything into place, so that way you don't have to float all this with your hands. And while we put the spacers and while we put the spacers and stuff in there, we don't have to hold the bracket. It'll hold itself up. So you're going to use the factory nut with the spacer, factory nut, spacer with a little bolt that went through here with the clip, and then the factory one. I had to bend the bracket a little bit to get it to fit on there. Other than that, we're good to go. Now we can go ahead and mold up our lower and upper control arm. On the passenger side, the brackets lined up pretty well and everything went on pretty smoothly, but on the driver's side here, I had a little bit of trouble. So the holes didn't quite line up. So I struggled putting this on. So I had to oblong the hole in the bottom right here to get this bracket to bolt up. But I wanted to explain to you how to get these, see if these spacers in here. They're pretty tough to do. So there's a short one that goes on the top and the longer one that goes on the bottom. The first thing I did was, I put the bolt through without the spacer here on the bottom. So right here, if you look up there, so I just put the bolt through without the spacer. And then I started the bolt here, and then I was able to reach on the top and from the bottom here, put the spacer in between the two brackets here, the frame and the bracket here. So, and slide it down and get control, and I was able to slide it through. Now the hard part is to get the factory captured washer here, or not washer, the captured bolt here, nut that's welded onto this little bracket. So you have to feed that up through this hole in the frame. Well, with the spacer in here, you can't get it through, but without the spacer, you can get it through. So I slid it through, got this bolt started first. Also, just behind the exhaust here, there's a hole that you could reach your finger through and help guide everything in there and start it up. Now, Then I took this bolt back out, put the spacer in there, put the bolt through, and then tightened everything down. So that's how I got this bracket in. This bracket was the hardest part so far. You know, it's probably going to be the hardest part of the entire rear suspension back here. It's not that difficult. It's just it's time consuming to work with this. But once you get it, and I'm also using the factory bolts here and here, and then the bolts that are supplied with the kit, they will do the mounting of the control arms. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to mount the upper and lower control arms on both left and right side before we roll the differential underneath and put it back in. I'm Brian Eslick from How To Automotive, and I hope you found this video helpful. I wanted to encourage you to subscribe for more valuable videos like this. Thank you again for watching.